Shalom, call Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Kakodash, which in the Hebrew language mean all praises to the Most High. His true name is Yahweh. In the name of his Son, whom the world ignorantly and stubbornly calls Jesus, his name is Yahweh Shai, where Kakodash means Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well through the scriptures. Peace to the hopeful elect. Now, in this lesson, I want to talk about women in the workforce because, at my job, it's basically labor, all right? And you got different levels of labor. But it just so happens that a lot of women are doing labor that's meant for men at my job. And then they can't handle it, and then they quit, and they don't last long. And this is becoming, down here in Indianapolis, with different people who I'm talking to, that's basically like a pattern, all right? Because if you can't, and it's a lot of temp services, so you go through a temp agency and they place you, doing, a certain level of labor. If you don't get a good position, then you're gonna be doing what men do. All right. If you don't get something that's simple and easy you can handle, then you're expected to do some heavy lifting. And that's what they're having, that's going on, and even old women, a lot of elderly, because the economy is so bad and messed up that you don't have people retiring like they used to, people not retiring. So people are steady working. And the younger generations don't have a real work ethic, like that. So companies don't really want to hire them, take a chance on them. So this is the scenario you have. And a lot of men are, especially of our people, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which are the Israelites, are either locked up, getting gunned down, got a bad background, which enables them not to find steady work, or they got the mindset they don't want to work. All right, so you have a lot of women in the workforce that's doing jobs that they shouldn't do. So this is Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled. All right, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come." Right, so it's talking about like the so-called white man through his laws have put the women of our nation at ease. They have put the women of our nation at comfort by giving them preferable treatment. All right, welfare, federal income, as long as the man is not in the household. All right, through the education system, they have given the notion that the women can rule over us. All right, but now look, you got the majority of people, the women that I've come across, the majority of them, they want to go to school or college for psychology. I done heard psychology like 3 times, psychology and or business. But the economy this is not the economy for that. All right. The majority work they got going on right now is factory work, retail work. You're going to be a CNA, or you're going to be a step above that. You're going to be an RNA, or you're going to drive trucks. All right. Those are the main job sources. Those are the main job sources out. All right. But, if you want a little bit of money, you're going to work in a factory. All right. So it says, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and go and gird sackcloth upon your loins. It says, they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. And so lament mean mourn and cry or complain. For what? The teats, for and what that represent? That represent the government assistance. All right, the amenities that the government provide. All right, that SSI check that a lot of women put their children on. A lot of our women put their children on the so-called white man's medication to get that $700 SSI check. Kid perfectly fine. All right. We went from boys will be boys to ADHD. All right. So pretty soon they're going to cut that out. All the food stamps. All right. I read an article not too long ago, which a couple of days ago, which spoke about the food stamps is going to be cut unless you work. Like you're not going to be able to receive food stamps unless you have a job. Now, food stamps were supposed to, sustain you, until you find a job. But now they having it where you can't even get food stamps unless you got a job. And I was having a conversation with an individual at the grocery store, and she was telling me about how she only got $14 in food stamps. All right. So that's the women is gonna lament for the teach. They're gonna lament when Trump start taking away these government assistance. All right, on various levels. Now, I googled food stamps and this popped up. Let me pull it up just to see what it'll give me, because I read the article, a couple days ago, but I was gonna see what they give me. So I typed in food stamps. And this popped up. It says Trump administration withdraws food stamps from thousands of Georgian residents. It says Georgia cuts thousands for food stamps program over work requirements. See, this was one day ago. It says Georgia removing 8,000 people a month from food stamps even before Trump. Let me click on this one. It says even before Trump administration admin imposing stricter work requirements. So Trump ain't even, they ain't even passed this yet, but Georgia already, and the number one demographic of people on food stamps is you so-called white people. All right, you so-called white people, y'all the main people on food stamps. I know the media try to stylize it as if our people the main one on it, but it's hard. They make it very, very hard for us to get food stamps, especially a so-called black man. All right. It says a Richmond Emergency Food Bank volunteer packs boxes with food to be handed out to needy people on November 1st, 2013 in Richmond, California. Okay. Let me see. It says Georgia removed nearly 8,000 people from food stamps each month between April and October for failing to meet the work requirement, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported. The rapid rise in food stamp revocation was a 20-fold increase from the 356 people removed these months between October 2017 and March 2018. All right, 71% of those receiving food stamps are families with dependent children, while 1/3 are families with elderly or disabled individuals, the Journal-Constitution reported. So it says 70% are families with children. All right. Now on Facebook not too long ago, a brother had showed me it was this so-called Negro woman. She had blonde hair. She clearly hated herself. She had blonde hair, and she was bragging and praising the so-called white man. She said, "I want to thank my daddy, my real daddy, which is the government or the white man, something to that effect." And the reasons why she said was because of the federal assistance, the so-called help, all right, that he give. But our people don't know that was only to destroy our people. All right. Now, I got this Willie Lynch letter. I'm gonna read something from this Willie Lynch letter, if I could pull it up real quick. Let me see if I still got it up here. Now, when you read the Willie Lynch letter, it's a text of destroying our people. All right. Now, this is what it said. Let me see what it said about the female. It says the breaking process of the African woman. All right. Now I'm gonna jump up some, and then I'm gonna go back to the. Right, let's start right here. It says completely break it used the process of breaking horses for breaking our people. All right. It says completely break the female horse until she becomes very gentle, whereas you or anybody can ride her in her comfort. And that's how our women are. Our women, well, the majority of our women, they come into contact with so-called white people. For the most part, most of them, the so-called white men, they're just very gentle. You don't see the ghetto and the loud and the ignorance, even when they're in relationships with these so-called white people, which you're not supposed to do. They just as content. All right. It says Breed the mare and the stud until you have the desired offspring. Then you can turn the stud to freedom until you need him again. It says, train the female horse whereby she will eat out of your hand, and she will in turn train the infant horse to eat out of your hand also. That's why our women don't have, and the majority of our people don't have nothing to say against the so-called white man. That's why they take their children to get these immunization shots, no questions asked. All right, that's why they give they give their children these pills. All right, that the doctor prescribed, no questions asked, regardless of the side effects. No questions asked. Just keep taking them to the doctor. Keep trying different pills. All right, and then they teach their children so. All right, it says now let me jump down. It says the breaking process of the African woman. Take the female and run a series of tests on her to see if she will submit to your desires willingly. Test her in every way, because she is the most important factor for good economics. If she shows any sign of resistance in submitting completely to your will, do not hesitate to use the bullwhip on her to extract that last bit of resistance out of her. Take care not to kill her, for in doing so, you spoil good economic. When in complete submission, she will train her offspring in the early years to submit to labor when thee become of age. Understanding is the best thing. Therefore, we shall go deeper into this area of subject matter. All right, blah, blah, blah. Right, so basically, all right, the so-called white man, he had our women eating out of the palm of his hand, like it said, just basically gobbling up anything he dishing out. Now that was physically in slavery, all right, where and then he further did it around like the 50s, 60s, and 70s when he started giving that government aid and that government assistance, as long as you keep the male out of the household. So that way he became the father in your household, because the father's supposed to the father regulates the house. So the so-called white man got to regulate in the house. All right, look, you can do this, you can do this, you can do that. You can't do that. When I give you this money, when I give you this federal government money, you can buy this, you can buy that. You can't buy that. All right. But the thing is, you know, our people, our women roll with it. Our people went with it. Okay. Because of the goodies. All right. Because of the treats it came with, you know. But he's in the process of taking that away now. All right. And now the Lord said, rise up, you women that were at ease. All right. Because the majority, a large portion of our women, they okay with that. They okay with ruling over their men or having some form of control and independence over their household, you know. So with that, you know, Lord willing, this was the edifying lesson to the hopeful elect. Call Halayim La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kakodash Shalom. And another thing I wanted to add is the older. Now see, it's everybody got to pay. All right, everybody got to answer for what they have done. Now, on the flip side of that, the so-called white man, you got to answer. You got to answer for that, because by your treachery and by because you thought about this. All right, you laid this design out to destroy your people. All right, to totally destroy us. All right, you got to pay for that. But I want to bring this scripture out before I close, because it's a particular elderly lady that work up there, and you know she cool. You know, I think she cool, and I just be looking at how much labor they require her to do with no pity, you know, for her age, or you know, and she's a woman. You know, women are weaker than men, you know. But let me see. I want to get this scripture. Right. This is Isaiah 46:7. It said, I was wroth with my people, the Lord angry at us. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Yeah, the Lord gave us into your hand, the so-called white man, right? It says, thou didst show them no mercy, Upon the ancient has thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Yeah, upon the elderly, they very heavily laid the yoke, man. Like, got all these. I had a job a few years back, and there was this old lady. She had retired from the job, and because circumstances, finances, she had came back out of retirement to the job, and she was working, and she had a walker. All right, she had a walker, and then a so-called white man, a devil, all right, had the nerve to walk by her one day and crack a joke, like hurry up, old lady, like a little joke, and she took it in stride and laughed along with him, and I'm just sitting there like, ain't this, But like I said, once again, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson to the hopeful elect. Shalom.